Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. 1 month since finding out. Need support. A month or so ago I found out my wife of almost 7 years has been cheating on me for 3 months physically and 6 months emotionally. I found out when her story of why she was so late didn't add up at all and came home in an Uber rather than co-worker. I felt suspicious the past 2 times she was late like this, so made sure to be outside on arrival. She eventually came clean after I told her I trusted her our whole relationship, and if she said she didn't cheat I'd believe her. That's what broke her to tell the truth. It was a 2 ex-boyfriend. She said she loves him. Initially she refused to stop talking to him. She agreed to stop seeing him short term. She faked showing me their conversations for 2 days until I had her phone while she was on a work call and found the real conversations on WhatsApp. I blew up. 3 days later they stopped all contact temporarily for 1 month so we can figure things out. Basically she says she loves me and loves our family, but she loves him too. She has been pushing an open relationship since I found out. She has way prior to this brought up an open relationship, but only for me, which I always said no to. After our child she wasn't into sex as much as I was and thought that would help. I hated the idea. Since she has stopped talking she has been much more affectionate to me. I do believe since that last lie that she has been 100% honest, brutally honest as well. The first few weeks were horrible, almost constant fights. I've had constant questions since she stopped talking to him. We started therapy, it's helped and has hurted us. About the past 3 weeks is when I stopped with the need for questions and things have actually gotten much better. Then the past week and a half since our first real couple session after the solo, things have been better. She actually has been the most emotional she has been with me for years, and the past week and a half has possibly been the best week and a half in years. Weird enough. Even with this she is still pushing for an open marriage, which to me is complete BS because she only wants him and said if they stopped talking she doesn't want an open relationship, but is willing if I still did, which I don't. This whole thing is so weird. I always thought immediately after cheating I'd be done, no questions asked, but him not. It's weird to me that during this past month of her having no contact with him that we have gotten closer emotionally, even with her having feelings for him in the background and still pushing. The past 3.5 weeks when we haven't talked about it things have been great. But each session she still says she wants an open marriage, but at the same time says she's getting closer to me. 3 days after I found out was the first time we had sex again and did it every day that week, but we both kinda felt it was just something to break up the tension, to have something feel good. The following week was nothing, but since then it's been almost every day back in our first year of dating. Most of me feels that her effort and feelings/physical is genuine, but a small part is scared it's being used as a method to get me to agree to an open marriage. With all that said, today is the day they check in and I hate that idea. It was initially supposed to be Sunday, the day after her birthday, but she didn't wanna do that to me on Father's Day and she planned a day for us yesterday. The check-in is supposed to be a "Hi, how are you? We are planning to keep working this out." Initially it was a full conversation, but now because I told her how I felt yesterday she switched it up to saying it's going to be one text saying that we are going to keep figuring this out. I hate the idea of even that text. I want zero contact. She is gonna let me watch it since she has put in effort to regain trust, but I know this open marriage goal is there. It all just bothers me and sucks because I do want to work through this. She wants to be married to you and have a boyfriend, or maybe more than one, on the side. So far it doesn't sound like you have done much to convince her that you are much more than a doormat. She is ducking someone else, and you are doing nothing of significance as a result. Start consulting with family law attorneys in your area. Find a good one and file for divorce. Have her served publicly, or at work if the AP is a co-worker. Having her served is drawing a line in the sand. She has to make a choice. It's your way, or the highway. Putting up with her crap isn't going to do you any good, it just makes you appear weak in her eyes. You can stop a divorce at any time, acting like a doormat isn't going to stop her affair. She has been seeing the guy for 6 months and screwing him for 3. Why do you want to stay married to her? Are you afraid of being alone? Dude, do you really think that you are worth so little that it is fine you are a second choice for her? She wants an open marriage so she can duck this other guy while you stay home and take care of the house. She clearly doesn't care about how you feel. Can you live with never knowing if she will decide to abandon you the minute she has a plan with this guy? An open marriage will never save a failing marriage and will most likely make things worse. She wants her cake and to eat it too. You have given her nothing but trust and love and she took that and tossed it into the fire. Do yourself a favor and pull the cord, get out and find someone who actually loves and cares about you. She made her decision when she started her affair, sticks to the decision until today and even goes so far as to try to push you into an open marriage which you clearly don't want, just so that she gets what she wants. She loves that guy and being with him is more important to her than you or your marriage are. I know that you struggle, but if you take a moment and think about it, then you will realize that you don't love her but only the woman she once was. You hope that this woman will come back one day and this hope is keeping you from divorcing. But that woman was a lie and you can't get back to that lie once you know the truth. The only question you need to ask yourself is, do you want to stay with her and be okay with her going on to cheat on you, or can you not accept that? Those are the options she gave you. All other options are only an illusion that will never come true. It is up to you to figure out what you want. Question about open marriage months after an affair. Advice. Me and my wife have been married monogamously for 7 years and together a total of 10 with a 4-year-old son. 6 months ago a 2-time ex messaged her still living in another state. She began emotionally cheating and 4 months ago he moved back here and she had sex with him 4 times over 3 months. She came clean about it a month ago. It destroyed my world but decided I wanted to work on it. She has since stopped contact. I 100% know this. She works from home. I teach at a school 2 minutes from the house and she has not been away while we work on our issues about her cheating, but she has repeatedly said that she wants an open marriage. My opinion is she is just trying to hold on. For years she has told me that she wanted me to get a girlfriend since she lost her sex drive after our son then going on a hormonal birth control, but always said she didn't want it for her. Until now, only with this one guy. I've always told her I only wanted her. Even now I asked her if we were to do it, would she want to continue after they stopped, and she said she'd be fine with me doing it but she wouldn't. I'd likely stop. Since she switched to an IUD her sex drive has gone back up. Before she came clean we was having a ton more sex, and basically since 3 days after she came clean there has been a ton of sex between us. The first week was definitely just to avoid fighting. We both told each other sex was being used to cope with the fighting, but since then it's been back to how we were in year 1. Since I found out she has been honest with me, 0 contact, anything I needed to feel better she has done. She's willingly given me pictures anytime she left the house without me ever asking. The way she talks to me and others without me knowing looks like she is invested in the future of us by big statements and little insignificant ones that before this wouldn't have even been noticed. She's took over planning vacations in October and December. I know 100% I am not ready for an open marriage now because of the pain and trust, but I do love her and want to figure something out. Ideally how it was before, but I guess trying to open my mind to other ideas. She is not pushing it on me at all. She wants to work through therapy as long as I need, but eventually there's gonna have to be a decision whether she lets it go, I open up, or the option neither of us wants, and that's to separate. I guess what I'm wondering is if there is any way to actually trust and have an open relationship after something like this. I know open relationships are built on boundaries and trust, which recently both of those have been broken and need to be rebuilt. Update, 5 months after reconciliation. Update so far. First 2.5 months after D-Day was rough. She wanted to stay with me but didn't want to let go of him. She was pushing for an open relationship while in couples therapy. She was not seeing him at all and I thought she wasn't in contact. In July, a week before a family vacation with my family, she was doing her hair. I had a feeling, so I went through phone records. Found a handful of calls over the past 2 months, called her out. She used a twisted reality in her head from a relationship book we read to justify contact since it has no physical meeting. She deleted everything and blocked him. Fast forward a week on our date night on vacation while my family was watching our son. I looked through her phone while she was taking a nap pre-date since I noticed her writing long messages in notes. They had been having a secret conversation on Goodreads and were copy and pasting the conversation for ease. Same with on Amazon Chat, such secret methods. We had a very long talk after driving to dinner since we couldn't cancel. While I was talking, I told her I couldn't handle it anymore and she needs to make a real decision if she wants us to work or not because I'm done feeling this way. Told her we needed to end the marriage if she was going to hurt me again. She wanted to stay. We kept talking. She basically believed I didn't really love her anymore and I just didn't want to let another man have his wife, so it was some guy pride stuff. I told her I did love her and this whole thing was tearing me apart. Since that night she has had a complete change. Since that night she said she no longer wants an open relationship. It was a way in her head, even though it was wrong, that would make everyone be happy, but in reality was just keeping one foot in and one foot out. Since then she has not had one time of being frustrated when I needed to talk or anything. She has given me full access to her phone. Her email has been clear. She hasn't realized it's been logged in on my laptop since way prior to the affair, and has been clean with no new notifications or messages since prior to me finding out the vacation stuff. Now she has zero issue sharing location when she did prior to this. She has been more attentive to me. Since she decided to fix us that night on the trip, she has not been sad about him at all, versus prior to this she was sad often because she had a little contact versus now having none. A couple weeks after the trip she was down about work, and her being sad used to be a trigger about wanting to talk to him. She was really proud of herself that she thought about it but did not do it. Even though it hurt that it ran through her head, she didn't do it and chose my feelings. Since that day she hasn't shown any signs of any thoughts about him. We talked 2 weeks ago because I was having a hard time and was in my head. She told me that she actually hasn't thought about him in weeks and I probably think about it much more than she does, which she also said she understands. We just had a week-and-a-half vacation and we both said we felt the closest to each other since trips while engaged, while our 4-year-old was tough on the trip. We also spent one night at Disneyland on the trip. We both said it felt back to how it did early in our marriage while there, even though this was going on and now with a young child. I coached track and cross country and that was a huge source of anxiety for me since that is what allowed her to cheat. Each meeting recently the anxiety has been disappearing more and more since she is doing what I need during those. I know it's a long road still and I'm definitely keeping up my guard now, more than ever before, but each day is feeling better. It's now been 2.5 months since that talk and things have been progressively moving forward. We have also been able to work on issues, much more minor, that we have had way longer than before the affair even started. I have the impression that you taught her how to hide her communications better. But I'm somehow paranoid. A cell phone is cheap these days. And it's easy to hide. Look at the history of your internet box to see if there isn't an unknown phone that sometimes connects to Wi-Fi, secured. Just in case. If you have no reason to doubt, well, good for you and good continuation of your reconciliation. Yes, I thought about this and I'm the only one that has ever had access to that. We have had roommates for years and I have been the only one to ever pay the bill. She also works from home and our roommate currently is an ex-athlete of mine, so somewhat of a safety net for that. Our roommate currently is an ex-athlete of mine, so somewhat of a safety net. Seriously. No wonder she no longer needs to go elsewhere or communicate by cell phone. She has everything she needs to duck at home behind your back. You are in an open relationship but they forgot to tell you. Drop the Wi-Fi check and think about installing 3/4 spy cameras in the house without telling them. For security reasons, obviously, the videos could be surprising. Why assume an ex-athlete of mine means it's a guy? Never said that in my post, not even once, but why assume she cannot cheat with a woman? She's never done anything with a woman. This girl is close with me and has a boyfriend, and shares the rented room with her sister. And my job is literally a 2-minute drive to the house where I just pop in randomly. And there are security cameras near each entrance. I already got to the point where if it continued I'm done. In this case, good luck for your reconciliation. Thank you, my guard is definitely up now and no longer being naive. I was definitely being naive before when the wounds were fresh. And totally understand why some people doubt it. I'd think the same thing if it wasn't me. But I'm definitely on guard fully and at the point of no more chances. Okay, the thing I worry about is lesser than you. Assume that it is as you interpret it and she has made a 180 in favor of you and the marriage and she will actively prevent herself for cheating going forward. What you have done is gave her multiple chances on every level, playing the pick-me dance, and when she finally chose you, you are happy to have her back, rug sweeping. So, will you really be able to remain happy and not regress to anger and pain? I guess I am just an internet stranger and of course you are your own person. Good luck. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night. Wherever you are.